Imagine a young woman named Sarah, sitting alone in her tiny apartment, feeling trapped in a cycle of unfulfilling routines and self-doubt. One day, after a particularly difficult moment, she decided enough was enough. Armed with nothing but a journal and the desire for something better, she wrote down her dream life, one filled with purpose, confidence, and joy. Fast forward 2 years, Sarah now runs a successful business, has a circle of supportive friends, and wakes up excited every morning. Her transformation has inspired others, including some who doubted her, to seek her guidance on creating their own paths. Change is not reserved for the select few. It's available to anyone willing to take the first step. A fresh start is like a blank canvas, waiting for the bold strokes of a new beginning. And here's the secret. When you dare to begin again, the energy you create is magnetic. Today, I'm here to share how you can start a new life, a life so extraordinary that others will not only notice, but be drawn to follow your example. Let's dive into how to make this possible and why your transformation has the power to inspire change beyond yourself. When you think about starting a new life, the first and most crucial question to ask yourself is why? Why do you want to make this change? Why does it matter to you? This isn't just about setting goals. It's about finding the deep underlying purpose that drives you forward. Think about it. Without a clear sense of direction, you can easily feel lost or give up when things get hard. But when you know your why, it becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded, focused, and motivated. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone deciding to run a marathon. They're not just doing it for the medal at the finish line. Their why might be proving to themselves that they can overcome a personal challenge, honoring a loved one, or setting an example for their kids. That deeper reason is what gets them out of bed at 5 a.m., to train when it's cold and dark. It's what keeps them going when their legs feel like they're on fire at mile 20. Now think about your own life. What is it that you're yearning for? Is it the freedom to pursue your passion, the desire to leave a toxic situation, or the drive to create a future for yourself that feels meaningful and fulfilling? Write it down. Say it out loud. Let it become so clear in your mind that it lights a fire in you every time you think about it. The beauty of knowing your why is that it also brings clarity to the choices you make. It helps you identify what to let go of and what to prioritize. Suddenly, decisions become easier because they align with the bigger picture you're working toward. You stop worrying about pleasing everyone else, and you start focusing on what truly matters to you. And here's the best part. When your purpose is clear, people notice. There's a certain energy about someone who's living with intention. It's contagious. It inspires others to reflect on their own lives and ask themselves, what's my why? That's the ripple effect of change. It starts with you, but it doesn't end there. So, if you're serious about starting a new life, don't skip this step. Dig deep, uncover your why, and let it guide every step you take moving forward. Because when your purpose is clear, your path becomes unstoppable. Starting a new life means stepping into a new version of yourself. And to do that, you have to let go of what no longer serves you. It might sound simple, but it's one of the hardest steps to take because it involves leaving behind things that feel familiar, even if they're holding you back. Whether it's old habits, toxic relationships, or a limiting mindset, letting go is an act of courage and self-respect. Think about this. Every time you hold on to something that doesn't align with the life you want, you're giving it power over your future. Imagine trying to climb a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. It's exhausting, right? And yet many of us carry emotional and mental burdens that weigh us down in the same way. The key is to identify what those rocks are and begin the process of removing them one by one. Let me share a story. There was a man who had spent years in a job that drained him, surrounded by people who didn't believe in him. He stayed because it was safe, because it was what he knew. But deep down, he wanted something more. One day, he made the bold decision to quit and start his own business. He also distanced himself from negative influences and began seeking out people who uplifted and challenged him in positive ways. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt and fear, but as he shed what wasn't serving him, he discovered new opportunities in relationships that transformed his life. Letting go doesn't mean you have to burn every bridge or abandon every aspect of your current life. It's about being intentional. Start by asking yourself, what is holding me back from becoming the person I want to be? Maybe it's procrastination, a lack of self-belief, or the need to please others. Once you identify these things, you can start making small, deliberate changes to move past them and try to make positive progress. Make some progress and try to make positive progress. And it's not just about letting go of the negative, it's also about making space for the positive. When you clear out what's weighing you down, you create room for new opportunities, new relationships, and new growth. It's like cleaning out a cluttered closet. You may not notice how much space you're wasting until you finally clear it out. And when you do, you realize just how much room there is for the things that truly matter. Here's the thing, letting go isn't always instant. It's a process. There will be times when you feel tempted to hold on, times when it feels safer to stick with what's familiar. But remember, growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Each time you release something that's not aligned with your future, you're one step closer to the life you truly deserve. As you let go, you'll notice a shift, not just in yourself, but in the way others perceive you. People are drawn to those who have the courage to shed what no longer serves them and embrace change. That energy, that confidence, it's magnetic. It inspires others to evaluate their own lives and take steps toward their own transformations. So, take a moment and think about what you need to release. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because when you let go of the old, you open the door to something new, something better, and that's where the magic begins. When you're starting a new life, one of the most powerful things you can do is create a clear vision for what that life looks like. Without a vision, it's like setting out on a road trip with no map. You might move, but you won't know where you're going. A clear vision gives you direction, focus, and something to work toward. It's your personal blueprint for the future. Take a moment and think about the life you want to create. Close your eyes if it helps. Picture the details. Where are you living? What does your daily routine look like? Who are the people around you? What are you doing that brings you joy and fulfillment? The clearer you can make this picture, the more real and achievable it becomes. Here's the beauty of having a vision. It turns dreams into goals. It's not just about wishing for a better life. It's about creating a mental image so vivid that it starts to feel tangible. When you can see it, you can start to believe in it. And once you believe in it, you're more likely to take the steps needed to make it happen. But vision alone isn't enough. It has to be practical too. Break it down into smaller goals. If your vision is to start a business, what's the first step? Maybe it's researching your market or drafting a simple plan. If your dream is to improve your health, start by committing to a short daily walk or preparing healthier meals. Each small step builds momentum, and over time, those steps add up to something big. Now, let's be honest, life will try to pull you in different directions. There will be distractions, doubts, and even setbacks. That's why having a vision is so important. It becomes your compass, guiding you back on track when things get tough. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or uncertain, you can return to that vision and remind yourself why you started. And here's something incredible. When you start living with intention and working toward your vision, people notice. There's something inspiring about someone who knows what they want and goes after it. That kind of clarity and confidence is contagious, and it draws others to you. So, take the time to dream big and create a vision that excites you. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it and use it as your guide. Because when you can see where you're going, nothing can stop you from getting there. When you decide to start a new life, the journey ahead can feel overwhelming. The gap between where you are and where you want to be might seem impossibly wide. But here's the truth. Transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens through small, consistent actions taken every single day. That's the secret. Think about building a house. You don't lay down every brick in one day. You focus on one at a time, making sure it's placed carefully and securely. Over time, those small efforts come together to create something strong and lasting. The same principle applies to creating a new life. Each small action you take is like laying a brick for the foundation of your future. So, as you build your life, keep these two rules in mind. The blueprint, let's say you want to be healthier. You don't have to run a marathon tomorrow. Start with something manageable. Drink more water, take a 10-minute walk, or replace one unhealthy meal a day with something nutritious. Small actions are not only easier to stick with, but also build momentum. They create a ripple effect. One positive habit leads to another. And before you know it, those small steps have turned into a lifestyle change. The beauty of this approach is that it removes the pressure of perfection. You don't have to have everything figured out or see results immediately. What matters is that you're moving forward, even if the progress feels slow, because every step, no matter how small, is progress. And here's the thing about consistency. It builds trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how minor, you prove to yourself that you're capable of change. That trust grows into confidence, and confidence is a powerful motivator. It keeps you going, even on the days when it feels tough. I want to share a simple rule that can help. Aim to be 1% better every day. It doesn't sound like much, but think about it. 1% improvement compounded over time leads to incredible growth. It's not about massive leaps. It's about steady, intentional progress. What's truly inspiring is how these small, consistent actions not only change your life, but also influence those around you. When people see you showing up every day, even in the smallest ways, it sends a message. Change is possible. Your dedication becomes an example that others want to follow. So, start small, but start now. Take one step today and another tomorrow. Because when you commit to steady progress, you're not just building a new life, you're building a version of yourself that's unstoppable. When you begin to build a new life, there's a special kind of energy that comes with it. It's not something you can fake, and it's not something you can force. It's the result of being truly aligned with your purpose and committed to becoming the best version of yourself. This energy is magnetic. It draws people in, inspires them, and creates connections you never thought possible. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, it's not just what they've achieved that inspires you, but the energy they bring to life. There's something about them that feels real, confident, and vibrant. That's the kind of energy you create when you start living intentionally and authentically. And that's where you want to inspire your team. This energy begins with self-confidence. Confidence doesn't mean you have everything figured out or that you're never uncertain. It means you trust yourself enough to take action despite the uncertainty. It's about knowing you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. And the more you show up for yourself, the more that confidence grows. Another piece of the puzzle is authenticity. When you're building a new life, it can be tempting to follow trends or try to be what others expect you to be. But the truth is, people are drawn to what's real. When you embrace who you are, flaws and all, you give others permission to do the same. Authenticity is like a breath of fresh air in a world that often feels overly curated. One of the simplest ways to create this magnetic energy is through gratitude. When you focus on what's good in your life, no matter how small, it changes the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. Gratitude has a way of shifting your perspective, helping you to notice opportunities and connections that might have gone unnoticed. It also makes you more approachable because people are naturally drawn to positive energy. Of course, celebrating small wins is another powerful way to build momentum. Every time you acknowledge your progress, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that change is possible. Those celebrations create a sense of joy and pride that radiates outward, and people can't help but be inspired by it. What's truly remarkable is that this magnetic energy doesn't just benefit you, it impacts the people around you. When you start living with intention and authenticity, you become a source of inspiration. Your actions show others what's possible, and they begin to see their own potential through your example. That's how you create a ripple effect. So as you build your new life, focus on cultivating that energy from within. Trust yourself. Be real. Practice gratitude and celebrate your progress, because when you do, you won't just attract opportunities, you'll attract people who are inspired to join you on this journey. Starting a new life isn't a smooth, straight path. It's filled with twists, turns, and challenges that can test your resolve. But here's the thing. Challenges are not there to stop you. They're there to shape you. They're opportunities in disguise, moments that teach you resilience, strength, and creativity. When you face a setback, it's easy to feel defeated, to question whether you're on the right path, or even to think about giving up. That's natural. But remember, every great transformation story has its share of obstacles. The key is how you choose to respond to them. Will you let them define you, or will you use them as stepping stones to rise even higher? Think of it like this. When a muscle is pushed to its limit, it grows stronger. The same is true for you. Challenges stretch you, force you to think differently, and make you more adaptable. And every time you overcome one, you build confidence in your ability to face whatever comes next. Sometimes the hardest part is dealing with doubt, both from yourself and from others. People may question your decisions or criticize your efforts. It can be painful, especially when it comes from those you care about. But remember, doubt is often a reflection of their own fears, not yours. You're the one living your life, and you're the one who knows what's best for you. When self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself of your why. Go back to the vision you've created and the small steps you've already taken. Each challenge you've faced and overcome is proof that you're capable. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Resilience doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who lift you up, and who remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. Those connections are like a safety net, catching you when you stumble and helping you get back up. What's beautiful about embracing challenges is that they add depth to your journey. They make your story richer and more relatable. When others see you pushing through struggles and coming out stronger, they see what's possible for themselves. They realize that starting over isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. So the next time you face a challenge, don't see it as a roadblock. See it as a chance to grow, to learn, and to prove to yourself just how resilient you are. Because every obstacle you overcome is another step closer to the life you're building, and every step is a victory worth celebrating. One of the most fulfilling parts of starting a new life is seeing how your transformation begins to inspire others. You might not even realize it at first, but as you grow, as you take consistent steps toward your vision, people around you start to notice. It might be your friends, family, coworkers, or even strangers who see your progress and feel a spark of motivation in their own lives. In the beginning, it's not about trying to impress anyone or prove a point. It's about focusing on your own journey and becoming the best version of yourself. But here's the amazing thing. When you lead by example, others naturally follow. They see your courage in stepping out of your comfort zone, your determination to keep going despite challenges, and the joy you radiate from living with purpose. That energy is contagious, and it creates a ripple effect that can change more lives than you ever imagined. Think of someone you've been inspired by, a person whose journey encouraged you to take a step forward in your own life. Maybe it was a family member who overcame adversity, a friend who pursued their dreams, or even a story you heard about someone transforming their life. That inspiration came from their actions, not just their words. It showed you what was possible and gave you the push you needed to believe in yourself. This is the same impact you can have on others. By being authentic and consistent in your actions, you become a living example of possibility. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. People are inspired by your willingness to try, your ability to get back up after setbacks, and the way you celebrate even the smallest victories. Sometimes the people you inspire will surprise you. It could be someone you didn't even know was paying attention, a colleague who starts pursuing their passion because of your example, a friend who decides to make a positive change in their life, or even a stranger who hears your story and feels empowered to start their own journey. The best part? Inspiring others doesn't take anything away from your journey. In fact, it adds to it. Knowing that your actions are helping someone else can give you an extra sense of purpose and motivation. It reminds you that the effort you're putting into your own life is creating a ripple effect of positivity and change. So, as you walk this path, remember that you're not just building a new life for yourself, you're lighting the way for others. Keep going, not just for what you'll gain, but for the impact you'll have. Because when you rise, you inspire others to rise with you, and that's how true transformation spreads. Starting a new life is a journey, one that begins with a simple but powerful decision to believe in yourself. It's not about having everything figured out or knowing every step of the way. It's about having the courage to take that first step and trusting that you can create the life you dream of. Along this journey, you'll discover your purpose, let go of what holds you back, and take consistent, meaningful actions toward your vision. You'll face challenges, but you'll rise above them. And as you grow, you'll inspire others to embark on their own journeys, creating a ripple effect that goes far beyond yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Take the first step today. Whether it's as small as writing down your goals or as bold as making a life-changing decision, start now. Because every journey, no matter how great, begins with that first step. And soon you'll find that your transformation not only changes your life, but inspires others to believe in their own possibilities.